Hi, this is Danny Lewis, a course developer and tutor here at Point Blank Online. And this series of videos is from the Logic dubstep course that I developed with Johnny Miller from Just Listen and Sonar Pilot Audio. So just before I try and create this bass, I just want to point out that I added onto the reverb here a microphaser. So let me just show you. Just going to solo the sounds that are running through that. I'll take the microphaser off. Just added a nice futuristic texture. So, double click. Let's have a look. I'm gonna just set stuff up in massive and not sure what I'm gonna do just yet. Just load it up and just go all over to the square wave for the moment. Transpose my keyboard down. Just gonna work out some notes. Okay, transpose it down. So I'm thinking, because of the tuning of these different samples and how I actually like them slightly out, if I try to mimic what's happening with the bass, it's just sounding a little bit out of key. So maybe a different approach. What I'm going to do is just switch to another wavetable. That's better. Maybe something along those lines. Yeah, maybe to go lower. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, to kind of shift it down towards the end. Not sure about the actual pattern at the moment. Okay, look, I'm going to play those notes in and maybe we'll do some modulation to make it work. Okay, let me just look at the pattern there. Didn't need to do that one. Just quantize these. Maybe I will echo what's happening with the chords. I quite like that. It sounds really quite interesting, but I think I need to do this to take this down. have a listen. Maybe take this a bit later. Just going to shift these all up an octave as well. Just so I can test. Okay, there's one that's wrong. Yeah, you know what it is? There's that note here where there's a clash. Let me see if I could just extend this. It might be able to get away with that. Okay, yeah, let's try it down there. Yeah, okay, let me bring this back. Select them all again, bring them down the octave. Yeah, I like that. I just need to extend this a bit more. I think we can get away with that. Sometimes things don't need to be absolutely musically correct to work. It's all that kind of hip-hop kind of ethic to making music. So I think that's working, but I think we need to do some movement on the sound. So I'm going to keep that. Okay, you know what I'll do is I'll bring in another oscillator. Let's go for something different. See, I like what's coming from that. It's got this interesting twist to it now because of this particular wavetable. And I'm going to try some morphing movement on there with the LFO onto the wavetable. Let's just put this halfway. Let's bring up LFO 5. And maybe not so much, we'll see. Let's take the amount down. Just going to set this up on sync. Okay, now that's not working at all. Because the other wavetable has got a different sort of note tuning in there, that's created too much of a contrast. So I'm going to right click on that. I'm just going to take that off. I'm just going to have a think about this. Okay, you know what might be good for that is some just plain old filter movement. So what we'll do is we'll set it up so it's only going to run with the filter 2. I'm going to bring this down here. So we're going to mix, and that's going to be fine in the middle. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set this up with parallel. So this is going to run through here now. It's not going to affect the top one. So let's just have a look. The low pass 2-pole. Let's bring up the resonance. Let's give it some movement. Let's bring on the LFO. Just going to flip this 100% over to filter 1 now, so we're not getting affected. So that's good. Let's bring the other one back on now. Just bringing it out a bit there. Maybe just subtle movement. Yeah, that's working really nicely now. So less on the modulation amount. Let's try a different grid. It's got a real jazzy feel now, this track. Let's just go to the envelope 4. Stronger notes on the sustained sections. I prefer it that way. Take away the chords. So we've got some potential for the structure now. Yeah, I think that's working really nicely. So you've seen there the whole kind of evolution of that little idea. We started off with the sample chords, then we get the bass up and running, trying to find some notes that are working, trying different patterns, trying different textures to bring it out. But I think the end result there has actually worked out quite nice after that little journey.